When it comes to the richest people in the world, Arab families from the oil-rich nations come to mind. We also think about the British royal family and tech giants like Elon Musk. But not many know that the real richest family in the world is the Rothschild family. With a rumored estimated net worth of $2 trillion, their annual income is rumored to be a staggering $390 billion. The Rothschild family owns 1,800+ luxury mansions and more than 100 private jets. Yes, this is no fiction. It's the real wealth of a real family. Who are they? How did they accumulate so much wealth? What do they spend it on? We're here to tell you just that, so let's jump right into it. Who are the Rothschilds? The Rothschilds didn't become billionaires overnight. It's through decades and centuries that they amassed incomparable wealth, owing to their strong investments and knowledge of finance. They're a wealthy, influential family of bankers, philanthropists, and entrepreneurs originating from Europe. Their immense wealth and power come from their banking and finance businesses, as well as their investments in many industries. The Rothschilds have been making their mark on the world for more than 200 years and are considered to be one of the most powerful families in the world. From their success in the banking and finance industry to their unrivaled influence over governments, the Rothschilds have become a global icon of success and wealth. The family's wealth can be traced back to the 18th century, when Mayer Amschel Rothschild started a financial services business in Frankfurt, Germany. They have used their wealth to acquire huge stakes in some of the world's most successful companies, including Shell Oil and De Beers. They have also amassed a substantial amount of real estate across the world, including properties in the United States, Britain, France, and Switzerland. They also have extensive political connections and are closely linked to many powerful figures in the financial world. The Rothschilds have a knack for anticipating and capitalizing on changes in the financial markets. Through their formidable network of international contacts, they have been able to build an impressive network of business relationships that have allowed them to remain at the forefront of global finance. The history of the Rothschilds. The family's road to prominence was paved in 1744, when Mayer Amschel Rothschild was born on the 23rd of February in Frankfurt, Germany. He was the son of Amschel Moses Rothschild, who was a money changer. He was known to trade with the Prince of Hesse. Amschel Moses Rothschild was born in the Judengasse, the ghetto of Frankfurt. After his parents' early deaths, Mayer Amschel started to work as an apprentice in a banking house, and soon he became a banker himself. He was very intelligent and started building his empire by sending off each of his 5 sons, Amschel, Nathan, Jacob, Solomon, and Karl, to the 5 main European financial centers for business. Mayer and his eldest son, Amschel, were responsible for overseeing the growing business at Frankfurt. At the same time, Nathan established a branch in London in 1804. Jacob settled in Paris in 1811, and Solomon and Karl opened offices in Vienna and Naples in the 1820s. Wars were crucial turning points for the Rothschilds. They lent funds to warring princes, which included smuggling as well as legal trading of important products such as wheat, cotton, colonial produce, and arms. Eventually, the Rothschilds began to diversify their investments, expanding into a wide range of areas, including coal, oil, real estate, and wine. This diversification strategy paid off and helped the family's assets grow significantly. Their network spread far and wide and helped facilitate the family's access to a wide range of markets. This allowed them to capitalize on new opportunities. Mayer Rothschild's 5 sons also shared a unique business strategy that focused on investing heavily in the stock of companies during economic downturns. They were often ahead of the curve when it came to purchasing stocks or other investments, making sure they got the best returns possible. They were also known for their shrewd business acumen and often made deals that benefited themselves and their clients. Mayer Rothschild also used a strategy similar to royal intermarriage, which was prevalent in those times, to successfully keep the fortune in the family. He arranged marriages for his sons, often to first or second cousins. This wasn't followed by subsequent generations for obvious reasons, so by the late 19th century, almost all Rothschilds had started to marry outside of the family. However, these marriages weren't outside aristocracy or other financial dynasties. Their investments in transportation, communication, and energy networks changed the way people communicated and traveled. They were also involved in some of the world's most important business deals, such as the Suez Canal and the Union Pacific Railroad. Perhaps their most lasting legacy is the way their success has inspired generations of entrepreneurs and financiers. The Rothschilds have demonstrated the importance of sound investments, diversification, and risk management. They set the standard that many entrepreneurs still strive to meet today. The Rothschild family work and assets. There are conspiracies that they own 80% of the world's wealth, but that's all they are, conspiracies that are very false. But let's see what we do know about where they spend their ever-flowing wealth. From initially trading goods in a small company, the Rothschilds grew bigger and bigger over the years, with business activities involving merchant banking, private banking, asset management, acquisitions and mergers, insurance, venture capital, pensions and investments, sovereign debt, and commodities. We already told you in the intro about their 1,800 mansions. Those are worth a total of an eye-watering $36 billion. They also have 525 yachts and several private jets. If that didn't drop your jaw yet, the Rothschild family has a $100 billion fund that they use for investing in global stock markets like the New York Stock Exchange, the London Stock Exchange, and Tokyo. The Rothschilds have a reserve of about $20 billion in US dollars, $6 billion in Japanese yen, and $33 billion in euros. Talk about diversity. What do they invest in that makes them richer and richer by the day? The most noteworthy stocks owned by the Rothschild family are Meta, formerly Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Starbucks, Visa, Bloomberg, Bank of America, Qualcomm, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Hewlett-Packard, Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan Chase, PepsiCo, and the list goes on and on and on. Most of those names have been right on top of their respective industries for decades, and by investing in these rock-solid companies, the Rothschilds surely know how to multiply their money and grow their aspirations. And when we're talking wealth and luxury, how can fine wine be left behind? It's not just the finance sector and banking that interests the Rothschilds. The family has also been in the winemaking industry for 160 years. They directly and indirectly control over 70% of total wine sold in Europe and have earned over $16 billion in the last year alone in wine sales. They own multiple vineyards in Italy, France, South America, South Africa, and Australia. The Rothschild family also supplies wine for the Vatican for free. That's a good combination of novelty and nobility. Coming back to their interest in finance, the Rothschild family controls over 25 banks and investment companies around the world. The Rothschilds have equity investments in 8 out of 10 giants in the financial world. Their very own bank, N.M. Rothschild & Sons, which is an English investment bank, works on mergers and acquisitions. They also have a financial holding company, Paris Orléans SA. The Rothschilds also own a leading private and investment bank, the Rabobank Group, in the Netherlands. So, what happens when one not only has too much wealth but also too much control over a region's finances as well? They have the capability to influence wars and powerful decisions between nations. The Rothschild family's control of banks is why they were involved in the independence of Brazil from Portugal in the early 19th century. The family profited greatly during the Napoleonic Wars by helping the British government with its finances. Their financial, social, economic, and political influence is so strong that it wouldn't be far-fetched to say that they own the entirety of Europe. I wonder how the royal families around the world feel about this. What do the Rothschilds spend on? The Rothschilds don't just go on with the boring banking work all the time. They also live their lives to the fullest and richest. Let's take a look at the snazzy and jazzy things that they buy. Super rich people and yachts almost always go together. Planet 9 superyacht is one of the luxury yachts the Rothschilds own. The newer generation Rothschild, Nad Rothschild, owns the Planet 9 superyacht, priced at an astounding $102 million. It was built in 2018 and is 240 feet long, with state-of-the-art amenities such as a helipad, beach club, and spa, with plush interiors designed by the best German interior designers. This luxury vessel can accommodate up to 16 guests and a 26-member crew. Nad Rothschild isn't always cruising through oceans, so what does he do with his yacht at other times? Leave it lonely at a port? No. We know the Rothschilds well enough by now. and there's no way they won't look for an opportunity to earn some extra millions. Nad Rothschild rents out the lavish Planet 9 yacht for a staggering $725,000 per week. That goes down to $650,000 a week during the winter season. Chateau Mouton Rothschild is where the rich and luxurious wine is fermented and produced by this eminent family. This 222-acre property alone is estimated to be worth between $150 and $200 million, and that's minus the wine. This is the price of the Bordeaux estate in France alone. The wine production will obviously increase the overall value of the property many times over. What's the price of a bottle of Rothschild Cabernet and Sauvignon wine? $700 a bottle. Yeah, I'll have water on the rocks, please. Here comes another stunning estate from the Rothschild portfolio of ownership. Waddesdon Manor is located in the village of Waddesdon in Buckinghamshire, England. This breathtaking property was built for Baron Ferdinand de Rothschild and his family in 1877, for the price of $1.8 million. Over the years, its value skyrocketed to a jaw-dropping $250 million. The mega mansion has awe-inspiring architecture and houses a number of expensive portraits and other antique treasures. The resplendent property also has a museum that sees 460,000 visitors each year. And what's there to see? There is a writing desk made for Marie Antoinette and a gold bracelet bearing Queen Victoria's face, which was a gift to the Rothschilds from the Queen herself. There are 25,000 antiques and artworks in this beautiful mansion. And that's not even the only property they own. That's just one of the 1,800 luxury-laden mansions. As if hundreds of properties weren't enough, the Rothschilds also own hundreds of businesses across the globe. Their most lucrative one is Agora Oil and Gas, which was bought by Mayer Amschel Rothschild's great-grandson and Nathan Mayer Rothschild's grandson, Lord Rothschild, for an incredible $370 million. This was a solid decision by Lord Rothschild, since oil and gas are among the most necessary resources that every country needs today. Agora Oil and Gas is now worth an astronomical $1.4 billion. Unlike us regular folks, the Rothschild family's kids probably started their counting lessons in math with 1 billion, 2 billion, and 3 billion, instead of 1, 2, 3, and 4. And like many other rich people from around the world, especially from Europe, the Rothschilds too have a special love for art, and their taste is known to be quite impeccable. Apart from exquisite artifacts of gold and silver and stunningly crafted furniture, the Rothschilds have a huge variety of art collections. There are many vintage pieces too, dating back to the 16th and 17th centuries. How much art do the Rothschilds own in terms of money? The royal art pieces and furniture in possession of the world's richest family are worth a startling $2 billion. The Rothschilds' art collection didn't just attract Queen Victoria. It also attracted Adolf Hitler, who stole a few of their paintings while in France during World War II. The Rothschild family power. With immense wealth comes immense power too. From strong political connections to control over economies, the Rothschilds have seen and done it all. While many have had their suspicions about how the family really amassed all this wealth, others believe it is truly a masterstroke of financial literacy and a knack for investing right that the family possesses. Let's take a look at how powerful the Rothschild family really is. Jacob Rothschild established the Rothschild Investment Trust, headquartered in the Spencer Building in London, to oversee the family's banking assets in England. The trust was called RIT Capital Partners, and it's huge for a private entity. This plush establishment is adorned with antique furniture and gold fixtures. This spectacular building alone is estimated to be worth $42 million. The Rothschilds are known to always invest in high-demand business projects that seem to yield heavy returns. A large portion of their wealth is attributed to the amount of gold that they collect. Their Rio Tinto Mining Corporation is the second-largest metal mining corporation in the world. Their companies have spread their roots far and wide across the globe, from Canada, America, and South America, to Africa, Italy, China, and Australia. All of these companies are worth $103 billion collectively. The Rothschilds know exactly what to go after when they're investing: the most essential resources for human and economic progress: oil, gas, and metals. And talking about power, How can we leave politicians behind? The Rothschilds have many of them in their pockets. After all, the family owns not one, but two large mining corporations. Here's how they multiplied some of their money. As reported by Reuters, in 2009 Nathaniel Rothschild bought $40 million worth of convertible bonds in Glencore. The Glencore Mining Company is worth $127.5 billion today. The Rothschilds also have 31 mining agencies operating in Australia alone, which makes them one of the biggest employers in Australia. With that kind of power and influence over economies, wealth, and even people, the Rothschilds don't have to do anything else except continue multiplying their wealth for generations to come. But who really is the most successful Rothschild? There have been many generations, each with many children. Remember, they had to keep the family wealth within the circle. So, who was the smartest one? Who was more successful than the others? Let's find out. Of all of Mayer Amschel Rothschild's sons who ventured out, his third son, Nathan, became the most successful. After moving to Manchester, England, in 1798 to set up a textile business, he established himself as a banker. After moving to London later on, he set up N.M. Rothschild & Sons in 1810. N.M. Rothschild & Sons provided credit to the British government during times of crisis. During the Napoleonic Wars, the bank lent funds to pay British troops and finance the war effort. And N.M. Rothschild & Sons is not just history, it is still in operation today. In 2019, the bank reported $2.34 billion in revenue and an astounding $83.5 million in assets under management. In 1824, Nathan Rothschild and Moses Montefiore co-founded the Alliance Assurance Company, which today is part of the RSA Group. In 1835, Nathan put another feather in his cap by securing the rights to mercury mines in Spain, which were critical to refining gold and silver. It seems like the man could predict financial futures, because this purchase brought him immense profit in 1852, when N.M. Rothschild & Sons started refining gold and silver for the Royal Mint and the Bank of England. Nathan Mayer Rothschild built Gunnersbury Park in 1835. It was his first land and house estate in Great Britain. He paid at the time, astronomical $70,000 to buy it. Then he went ahead and revamped the posh mansion and decorated the surrounding landscape. And lo and behold, the mansion's value jumped to $132 million roughly 100 years later. The Ealing and Acton councils of London eventually bought it. That price puts even the best of Hollywood's mansion values to shame. This shows that Nathan Rothschild was always in it for the long haul. He planned things decades ahead and reaped the benefits later. Long-term investments were a crucial factor in his success and growth. So, here we have it. The lesson Nathan taught was patience. Nathan didn't look for instant gratification. Nathan was smart. Be like Nathan. But was Nathan Rothschild all about keeping money to himself? Nope. He was a philanthropist and contributed generously to many areas of the Jewish community. His family later expanded these charitable efforts to Paris and London. He started his philanthropic efforts with synagogues in London. Later, other Rothschild family members helped support the development of Israel by investing in the construction of housing and government buildings. All of Nathan's charitable foundations were taken care of by his youngest daughter, Louise, and her 7 daughters. He had around 30 Rothschild charitable foundations in Frankfurt alone. These foundations ranged from public libraries, orphanages, and hospitals, to homes for the elderly and special education funds. Nathan also extended immense financial support to the Jews' Free School in London. And it didn't stop there. He also provided support to various education-related efforts in Austria, France, and Israel. Nathan surely was the smart one among the Rothschilds. But overall, what generous deeds did the family do with that wealth? Let's find out. The Rothschild family and philanthropy. The Rothschild family has made its mark on the world through its incredible wealth and also through its generous philanthropy. The family has established an extensive network of charitable trusts and foundations, investing in health and education in many countries around the world. This wealthy family is well known for its generous donations to a variety of humanitarian causes. They have funded medical research, established educational scholarships, supported the arts and culture, and provided assistance to those in need. And philanthropy wasn't just about giving financial aid to them. The entire family liked to be wholeheartedly involved in their charitable activities. From dental clinics, free public libraries, and swimming pools, to old people's homes, orphanages, scholarships, soup kitchens, and hospitals, there were all kinds of charities in Frankfurt. However, the family had the most variety of foundations in Vienna. Perhaps along with hospitals, orphanages, and educational foundations, there was also a municipal theater and a foundation for destitute photographers. Doesn't that make you want to say cheese? Now, if you're done clicking a few selfies, it's time to study. Because the Rothschilds focused heavily on funding educational initiatives, and support for young people was always their top priority. They supported the Jews' free school in London's East End for many generations. In London and Paris, they formed the 4% Industrial Dwellings Company Limited and the Rothschild Foundation, respectively, for social housing purposes. The Rothschilds weren't limited geographically in their generous efforts. In fact, much of Israel's early economic success is attributed to the Rothschild family. They founded numerous colonies for Jewish settlers in Israel. To encourage economic growth for the new settlers, the family opened a silk factory, a vineyard, and a flour mill. They also introduced new crops, such as grapefruit and avocado. Healthy and fancy, even in their generosity. The Rothschilds don't fail to impress, no matter what they do. Recently, the Rothschild family has been focusing on providing education and opportunity in disadvantaged communities in the Middle East and Africa. They have also provided job creation and economic development aid in these regions. The Rothschilds don't donate only money to charity. They have donated an estimated 60,000 pieces of artwork to public institutions over the years. So, their philanthropic efforts aren't just thoughtful, healthy, and fancy. They're creative too. Can I have the original Mona Lisa, please? The Rothschilds in the 20th and 21st century. Not everything lasts the way it started, and the same can be said about the Rothschild family. While the rumors of their enormous wealth still continue to circulate, the real figures have never been fully revealed. That's why there is so much speculation about whether they truly possess as much wealth as is often claimed. Even if you see different figures reported by different media outlets, one thing is certain. The Rothschilds are still extremely wealthy. Wars, politics, and family rivalries may have caused fluctuations in the family fortune over the last 100 years, but it is far from gone. There were a few difficult periods during the 20th century. The Naples branch of the bank was closed in 1863. The Frankfurt branch closed in 1901 due to a lack of male heirs. The Vienna branch shut its doors in 1938 following the Nazi invasion of Austria and the dangers faced by Jewish families. The Vichy government in France seized the Rothschild Bordeaux properties during World War II. And that wasn't all. The Nazis also stole millions of dollars worth of art and other valuable objects from the Austrian branch of the Rothschild family. Some of these artifacts were eventually returned by the Austrian government to the family in 1998. After all those hardships and challenges through the years, a major change came in 2008. All of their holdings were reorganized under a single company, unifying the family's 2-century-old business empire that had originally been established by the 5 sons of Mayer Rothschild across Europe. Currently, the Rothschilds continue to make investments in a variety of industries, including oil, banking, real estate, and agriculture. Their vast wealth provides them with a unique ability to capitalize on opportunities and emerging trends in the markets. Among the younger Rothschild family members is James Rothschild, who married American socialite and fashion designer Nikki Hilton, the sister of Paris Hilton. Another descendant of the Rothschild family is David de Rothschild, an environmental activist based in Santa Monica, California. He crossed the Pacific Ocean aboard Plastiki, a 60-foot catamaran made from 12,500 reclaimed plastic bottles and other recycled plastic and waste materials. It is known that one of the Rothschild baronesses had a 14-room apartment at 825 Fifth Avenue in New York. Nad Rothschild reportedly had a pied-a-terre in the West Village, which he sold for a staggering $17.5 million in 2015. In 2017, Rothschild and Company opened a San Francisco office to expand its Silicon Valley business operations. However, Rothschild and Company could never quite move beyond boutique status in the United States. Despite limited business involvement in America, many Rothschild family members have lived there over the years. In 2015, James Rothschild married Nikki Hilton, great-granddaughter of hotelier Conrad Hilton and sister of Paris Hilton. Another member of the Rothschild family, Alice Rothschild, whose mother was from the Guinness brewing family, married Zach Goldsmith. Zach is a baron and former Conservative member of Parliament who ran for Mayor of London in 2016. Alice's sister, Kate, married Zach's brother, Ben Goldsmith. Unfortunately, neither of those marriages lasted, and both couples eventually divorced. The Goldsmith brothers are descendants of another extremely wealthy British family. Their father, Sir James Goldsmith, was famous for his immense wealth and his international lifestyle, maintaining families in both England and France. The richest member of the family in recent years was banker Baron Benjamin de Rothschild from the French branch of the family. He died suddenly from a heart attack in January 2021. According to Forbes, he had a net worth of $1.1 billion in April 2020, making him the wealthiest individual Rothschild at the time. Retired investment banker Jacob Rothschild, the fourth Baron Rothschild, had an estimated net worth of $1 billion and was considered one of the wealthiest living members of the English branch of the family. He has a daughter named Hannah Rothschild, who is a filmmaker, author, and chair of the board of trustees of the National Gallery in London. As can be seen, the Rothschild family has grown through multiple obstacles. It is their hard work, discipline, and consistency that have helped them maintain their financial position through generations. The way they invested money over the last 2 centuries has allowed them to continue building wealth. Their future generations likely won't have to worry about financial security, as long as they continue following the same principles and passion for investment. Only time will tell. But if you have time and would like to watch more inspiring stories about the rich and famous, click on one of the videos on your screen.